Olympic swimmer Dara Torres thrilled everybody in Beijing. 3 Olympic silver medals she collected, 41 years old, in her 5th Olympic Games, and we are so pleased to talk with her from her home in Florida this morning. Dara, how you doing, pal?
I'm good, Harry. How are you?
You look great. We had some wonderful pictures of you last night on the evening news, coming home, getting to be reunited with Tessa. You were away from her for, what, 7 weeks? How was that for you?
It was really tough. I'm lucky that I have Skype and iChat, so I can see her at least every day when she wanted to talk to me. But that was probably the toughest thing I ever had to deal with. And I ended up only staying 1 extra day after the swimming was over so I can rush home and see her.
Yeah. And yesterday was what, the first day of preschool?
Yeah. It was her first day of preschool. Had to get her ready for school and make her lunch and get her all dressed and take her over there. And it was a lot of fun. She was so excited to go to school. But, you know, it's fantastic being a mom.
Back to real life again. Let's talk about real life in the pool for a couple of minutes. 3 silver medals. When all is said and done, and as you were on the plane, you know, sort of dozing off on your way home, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Well, for a long time after the race, I kept thinking about my 50 swim and how I lost by 100th of a second. And it took me a little while to digest that and justify the 100th of a second. But I spoke to my coach, and he kind of put it all into perspective. He said, look, Dara, you know, I've watched your race 5 times, and you swam a perfect race. There's really nothing else you could have done. And putting that in perspective kind of helped get over that 100th of a second. But, you know, I was happy with all my swims. I did my best times ever, won 3 silver medals. So, you know, I was very happy about it.
You know, we talked with you before the games got underway, and your anticipation and your hopes for your performances. And I think the thing I can't get over was looking at you in the pool, even after you lost that race by 100th of a second. You had the biggest smile on your face. What was that about?
I think it was a little bit of relief. You know, I've been going for the gold medal, but I had to realize it was my best time ever, and I was happy. I mean, I won a silver medal at 41 years old. How can I not be happy? And the other thing also is I had the relay 30 minutes after that, so I kind of had to change gears and not think too much about the 50 and get ready for that relay. But I was just so happy to be on the award stand.
Yeah. As you came home and as you were going through the airport and strangers came up to you, what did they say?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I went right from Beijing to Chicago, and we got through customs. They let us go through before everyone. And then when we got into the open area, I was walking through and people were standing up clapping. And they started coming up to me and telling me what an inspiration I was. And I kept looking around. You know, I was in Chicago. I thought maybe Michael Jordan was around. I'm like, what is going on here? And, you know, we were kind of secluded for a while, first in Singapore and then Beijing, and wasn't really around on the news and stuff. So I had no idea what was going on. These people were clapping.
Yeah, it is a sensation to say the least. Well, Dara, we have a little bit of a surprise for you this morning. We are also joined by Dara's coach, Michael Loberg, who did not make it to Beijing due to an unexpected serious illness that was diagnosed just before the start of the games. He joins us from the hospital in Maryland where he is recovering. Michael, good morning.
Good morning, Harry. How are you?
Really good. As you watch Dara, Michael, how proud were you of her performance?
I don't even think that I can describe it in words because it's a very emotional thing and it's hard to do that. I have never actually experienced things like this or a swim like this. Of course, I had people at the Olympic Games before, but there was so much riding on this particular swim. Dara put so much into it. There was, I mean, she is 41. It was not just for, the swim was not for her, the swim was for a lot of other people. So there was a lot of riding on this one swim. And the stress then obviously is very, very high. But I was so proud how she handled it overall. And she couldn't have done it any better. But that's typical Dara. She is just good in what she does, very good, better than others.
Yeah. Dara, what did it mean to you to know that Michael was, even if he couldn't be with you in Beijing, to be watching from home?
You know what? We wrote the story together, and the one thing he said to me when he was in the hospital and realized he couldn't be in Beijing was that I needed to finish the story that we wrote. So I knew he was with me spiritually, and I spoke to him every day and text messaged him, and I was just so thrilled that he was with me in a different way.
Yeah. Michael, it is good to see you. What do you think of Dara? We were with Dara, our cameras were with Dara yesterday, and she drops Tessa off at preschool, and she goes back, she starts to work out again. I don't think, Dara, are you done?
Of course, know. What else do you expect?
Thanks, Michael.
Well, this is a conversation that will continue, I am sure. Dara Torres, as always, a pleasure to chat with you. Great to see you. Congratulations on everything.
Thanks. Hi, Michael.
And Michael, we continue our best wishes to you and your continued recovery. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Okay,
all right,
bye-bye.
Be well.